Hey teens, welcome back to the EduCons. Have you ever wondered how important grammar is and how important the rules of grammar are for learning English language? So to take you ahead, I have chosen today's topic as phrases and clauses. Now you must be wondering what are phrases and what are clauses. So let me just take you across in this particular session and tell you what exactly are phrases and what exactly are clauses. So as you can see, phrases and clauses are a group of words that act as a unit and perform a single function with a sentence, which means that in framing a sentence, you would require a phrase as well as a clause. A phrase actually is defined as a group of words. They might not have a meaning and they might not stand complete, right? So, here we can say that a phrase is a group of words which may have a partial subject or a verb, but not both. Or it may neither have a subject or a verb. I have already told you that phrases will not have a complete meaning in themselves. Right? And whereas the clause, however, by definition, a group of words that has a subject and a verb, and it stands to be meaningful irrespective of whether we see that we will have to determine whether it's a dependent clause or an independent clause. And a sentence can have n number of clauses and phrases combined together. So the bottom line is, for framing a sentence, you would need phrases as well as clauses, and you have to use it very methodically and see how you frame the sentences in a correct way. Let's check what the next slide is all about. Alright, so how do we see certain examples of phrases and clauses? If you see the phrases which are listed, needing help, with a green shirt, best friend, on the horizon, after the devastation, because of her glittering smile. Now these are phrases. You cannot expect them to have meanings. They are a part of a sentence. While you frame a sentence, you would actually need clauses. Let's check some examples of clauses. With a green shirt, she laughs at shy people. Now, there is a slight difference between the first example and the second example of the clauses. With a green shirt is a dependent clause wherein we need something to complete it, and the second one is an independent clause. She laughs at shy people because it holds to be complete. It's a complete sentence. Let's check the other examples. Because he gave her a puppy. When the saints go marching, I waited for him. You would definitely mark the differences between the independent clause and the dependent clause, seeing that some of them are incomplete and some of them are complete. They hold a meaning. He wants to become an engineer. This stands for an independent clause. Let's move on. Phrases can be a combination of words that do not combine a subject and a verb. They will just act as a part of the sentence, right? So what are the types of phrases that we come across? We have noun phrases, we have verbal phrases, and we have prepositional phrases. Let's check out some examples. Noun phrases, if you see the example which is mentioned in the bracket, it's the nice neighbor. Here, the neighbor is identified as the noun, and since it's the nice, these two words are combined with neighbor, it stands as a phrase. My best friend, troops of soldiers. All of these examples have noun highlighted along with two more words. Since we are talking about phrases, hence they are group of words, and since noun is highlighted, it is noun phrase. Similarly, verbal phrase, waiting for the rain to stop. Waiting is a verb word. For the rain to stop. are few of the other words added with the verb waiting to make it a phrase, as phrase is considered to be group of words. Moving ahead to the prepositional phrase, which is after the storm. Here, after is considered to be the preposition and then the storm. So after is highlighted as the preposition combined with the two other words, the storm. These were some of the examples of different kinds of phrases. Now if you see this particular sentence, in 1833, Faraday's experimentation with electrolysis indicated a natural unit of electrical charge, thus pointing to a discrete rather than continuous charge. Now, the purpose of giving this example is to make you understand that phrases sometimes may be long enough. It's not necessary that it is going to be just a combination of two words. Sometimes phrases can be 3 or 4 words long. This is a perfect example of this. In 1833, Faraday's experimentation with electrolysis indicated a natural unit of electrical charge. Now, if you consider this second part of the sentence, thus pointing to a discrete rather than continuous charge, you can see a group of phrases in this particular sentence. Moving ahead, we have two types of clauses. As you can see, the first one is dependent and the second one is an independent clause, right? A dependent clause has both a subject and a verb, but it will not sound to be meaningful or complete. It does not express something which has a complete meaning, right? So it is dependent on something else. Let's check some of the examples. When we get enough snow, because I was upset. Now, if you mark these sentences, we do need, something, some or the other clause or something to complete the sentence. Let's see, for example, when we get enough snow, we can make a snowman. Because I was upset, she came to cheer me up. Now, these phrases, these clauses, they stand dependent and they need something for the sentence to be completed, right? So this is the reason, since they depend on something, they stand dependent and they stand incomplete and we need to complete it, right? Now these clauses must be attached to an independent clause to be a part of the complete sentence. Moving ahead, independent clauses. Let's check out what an independent clause is. It is free to stand by itself. It is independent, as the word says. It contains a subject and a verb and it expresses a complete thought. It's a meaningful sentence. It does not require any other clause or phrase or anything because it's a complete sentence on its own. Let's check the examples. I enjoy sitting by the fireplace. It's a complete sentence. The sun set. This is the book I want to read next. Now, these are some of the words to make you understand that, how will you identify whether it's a dependent clause or whether it's an independent clause. So, what are these words? You can see although, as if, even though, unless, until, right? Now, these words, when they are used in a sentence, you will have to determine whether they make any sense. Are they complete? If you feel that they are incomplete, then they are dependent clause and vice versa. If you see that they are making sense and they stand complete, expressing a complete thought, then this is an independent clause. I hope you all have enjoyed the session. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back again with many more important videos, interesting content, and I am going to teach, train and talk on this platform, which is the Educons. Till then, stay tuned and goodbye.